Okay, we are going live. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and Good Shabbos. Beautiful evening here. Before we start services, cell phones have been interrupting service as of late. I'm going to ask you all to do one of two things. One, turn your cell phone off. Two, turn it on to vibrate if you don't know how to do that. And next week, we'll have an 8-year-old come in and show us how to work our phones. Too many interruptions with cell phones during services, disrespectful, not necessarily to me, but to the congregation and certainly to the service. It's interesting, people who come to services and then don't turn their phones off would be mortified if they were visiting a Catholic friend in one of their churches and the phone went off. They would be mortified here. We chuckle, we laugh about it. It's no, so please turn your phones off or down and we'll start. It's a beautiful evening. Sun came out late in the day, looked overcast and my kind of day, but then, the sun came out and ruined it for me. But it is birthday and anniversary Shabbat, as well as Parshat Yitro. And so we'll start off by benching Licht, and we'll have Marilyn come up. And her birthday is today, right? There you go.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'had l'pnei shel Shabbos.
Great, thank you. Let's continue with an English reading on page 9. Page 9, responsive reading. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
Shabbat, we stand wondered for the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others.
Shabbat, we remember justice, our duty, and better order.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. All right, we'll continue welcoming Shabbat on page 20 with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamu v'zachu b'dibur echad, v'yishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mikor ha'bracha, merosh mikedem nehesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, mikdah hashmelech yimelucha, kumitzi mitoch hafecha, rav lahak shevet b'yemecha b'cha, v'hu yachamol alaychem la, Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, itna ari parkumi, livshi b'gdei tifarteh chami, alya b'nishai b'kalachmi, korba el nafshi gehala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, hitorari, hitorari, ki hiva urek kumihi uri, 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 Shir Daberi, Kevod Adonai Alaich Nigla, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekabila, Lo Tevoshi, Velo Tikol Bi, Mahatish Tochachi Matehen Bi, Bach Yechesu, Aryeh Amhi, B'nihiv Netayir Al Tila, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekabila, V'hayu L'shimsa, Shohosaich, V'rahachaku Kol Mevalayich, V'yasis Alayich Elohayich, Ki himsos Chatan Al Kala, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekabila, Yamin Usmol Tifrotzi, V'et Adonai Taritzi, Al Yahadish Ben Partzi, V'nihi Smecha V'nagila, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekabila, Boi B'Shalom Ateret Bala, Gam B'Simcha Uvsola, Toch Emunei Am Zgula, Boi Chala, Boi Chala, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekabila. Turn to page 222, some verses from Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. Let's read that outdented paragraph together. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Sadik kata hamar yifrach, kerez balvano yiske shetuli. Bebeit Adonai, Bechatzrot, Yafrichu, Kojenuvun, Beseva, Deshenim, Bera'ananim, Yiyu, Lehagi, Ki Ashar Adonai, Tzuri, Velo Avlatabo. And we'll close out Kabbalat Shabbat by welcoming the angels who come to spend Shabbat with us. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashari, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi melech malachei amlachim hakadosh baruch Hu. We have welcome Shabbat. The Shabbat bride is with us. We're on page 146. Please rise. Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Let's read together page 147 in the English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Page 148, let's read responsively the two paragraphs at the bottom. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world.
In each age, we are challenged by future teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with glory.
In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on our foundation of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miyotecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al vavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha b'derech, uv'shoktecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha, u'chtaptam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha. Let's read that indented paragraph at the bottom together. Thus you shall remember and observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Page 151, let's read responsively in the English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet everyone wants to transgress and perfection and evil about.
Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is equal amount of great heart, good enough to cover our souls.
When will redemption come?
When we bring everyone that we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn to present time and event. So celebrate the power that makes us free.
Top of page 152. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nohora tehilot, nohosefele, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, zeli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov, u'galo mi'ad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, ga'al Yisrael. Top of 153, the first two lines. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amideinu shomrei, לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. And let's read together in the English. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, aporei suchat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Top page 154, some verses from the book of Exodus. Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We are at the Amidah, the central prayer of our evening service. We'll chant 155, 156, and 157 together, and then we'll go silently as you finish the prayer on your own, finishing it either in the Hebrew or the English, or you can offer up your own meditative prayer during that time. I'll ask everyone please rise. We're on page 155. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor, HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Goel Livnei B'neihem, Le'man Shemo B'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin. Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayim Eitim Atarav L'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayim Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. All right, let's continue. Middle of page 160. Let's read together in the middle. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. May we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Page 163, a little bit of gratitude at the top. Let's read responsively. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts.
For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. We'll close out the Amidah on 164 with Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rahav al Yisrael amcha tasim liolam. Shalom rahav al Yisrael amcha tasim liolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. Shalom Rahab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, and mevorech atah Mo Yisrael, Shalom. Excuse me. Mishaberach, top of page 200, middle of page 253. Mishaberach, one of the prayers for healing, middle of page 253. Mishaberach Ahavoteinu Mikor HaBaracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imoteinu Mekor HaBaracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Pages 258 and 259, prayers of our community. Mr. President, how about the prayer for our congregation?
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion and prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levacha b'yirah na'avod. Dr. Ron, how about the prayer for our country?
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Top of page 259. Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim Vishlayu Ulayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashamayim Sur Yisrael V'Golo Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Gulatenu. Again Aleha B'Yafrach Chastecha Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha Ushlach Warcha V'Amitcha L'Rasheha Sareha V'Yotzeha V'Takneim Be'etzah Tova Milfanecha V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz V'Simchat Olam V'Yoshveha V'Nomar Amen. David, how about the prayer for Israel in English, please?
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield them beneath the wings of your love, spread over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. Hi, friends. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. This week we have Parshat Yitro. We've had a number of really big ticket Torah portions. Parshat Bo, the first Passover, the first commandment to all of Israel, the end of the plagues. Then we had Beshalach, the crossing of the Sea of Reeds. And now this week we have Yitro with the giving of the Aseret HaDibrot, the giving of the 10 utterances. And Yitro is he's an interesting cat. He is a Midianite high priest. He's not one of the tribe of Israel. And he's Moshe's father-in-law. And so he hears that Moshe has led the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt, And so he brings Zipporah, Moshe's wife, and their two sons, Gershom and Eliezer, to the camp. He had heard what God had done, and he gives us, he offers a blessing, and he says, Baruch Adonai. And that's the first time, at least in our recorded history, that anyone has put those two words together. And we know that when we recite a bracha, we say Baruch Atah Adonai, but he said Baruch Adonai, and we kind of adapted that form. He sees large groups coming to Moshe and large numbers of people vying for his attention as Moshe tries to solve all the disputes between the people. And Yitro tells Moshe that this way of doing things, even though Moshe had always done it that way, apparently, was not the right way of doing it, because he was just going to frustrate the people. Nobody wants to wait in line all day, and Moshe certainly doesn't want to be up from sun up to sundown answering dispute questions. So he says, you shouldn't be doing all the hard work. You shouldn't be doing all this heavy lifting. And this is too much for one person. So set up some judges. Get some people that you trust. Get some people who have some seichel, some wisdom, and let them figure out the lesser cases, lesser disputes, and you figure out the bigger ones. That way, people won't accuse you of trying to do everything. You'll get some rest, and the people won't have to wait in line forever. Moshe takes his advice, and he sets up this council of judges. The minor cases go to these judges, and he handles the major ones. And then Yitro returns back to Midian. Moshe asks him to stay, but Yitro says, no, I got to get back. I got people to look out for. 3 months later, the people are camped at Har Sinai. Think 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston, and except without a gun, and Cecil B. DeMille, that movie. People are camped at Har Sinai. God explains the covenant, and basically what it is that we're going to be a kingdom of priests and a holy people. And the priests come from the Kohanim, and the holiness comes from us, and that is not necessarily on what we believe, but how we behave. So you can do everything ritually perfect, but if you aren't a good person in public with other people, you're not doing much. And so we're going to be the holy people, and the people answer, all God has said we will do. And then 3 days later, the mountain is covered with smoke. The mountain looks like it's on fire. They hear the shofar blasts, and the people are frightened. They weren't expecting this kind of show, right? And so they all kind of take a step back, and Moshe goes up. He goes up into the cloud. He goes up into the fog or mist-covered mountain. He encounters God there and gets the Aseret Hadibrot. He gets the 10 utterances. This week we have 17 mitzvot, 3 positive and 14 negative, for a total of 17. And that is your Torah portion in a nutshell. So whenever I'm making a decision in my life, I consult a book. And it's a book that I have put together. It's not the Torah. It's not a Jewish book of halakha. It's a book of stuff my father taught me. And I started writing this down many years ago. And every time he would give me a little bit of a nugget, I would put it in, so I didn't forget his voice. So I didn't forget the way he spoke. And so I could go back and revisit it, because most of the lessons he tried to teach me, other than, don't breathe underwater and something about yellow snow, I have not mastered all of the other ones. And so as I was wrestling with something this week, I opened the book and it said, make sure your brain is engaged before your mouth is in motion. All right, now Dad's been gone 13 years now. So he hasn't seen the mess of American politics as of late, but he was aware of the fact that People often spoke when they didn't have to speak. They spoke when they should be listening. And this was his way. You know, make sure your brain is engaged. Make sure you're present. Make sure you're listening before you say anything. And there's a quote from the Buddha. It shows up in a number of different ways. But it's impossible to learn anything if your mouth is always open. Right? It's impossible to learn if you are always talking. If you think what you have to say is much more important than what someone else has to say. And as human beings, we have a complex array of communication skills. We have words, spoken words. We can communicate with our hands. Ask Melanie, she'll tell you. My sign language is very limited and not for public consumption. But we have these complex skills, but we don't always put them to good use. And one of our communication skills is the act of listening. Too often we're in a hurry to say what we want to say, and we want to get it in before somebody else says it, or we don't want anybody else to say anything, but we want to be heard. And we don't listen to people. I mean, you see it in politics, you see it at meetings, right? Everybody's talking over everybody. And what's so hilarious is sometimes you'll be in a meeting and people are talking and somebody says something and the person right next to them says the exact same thing, but doesn't realize that the person before them said it because they were too busy thinking about what they were going to say and not listening. So they repeated it. And then when they don't get the kudos for saying what was already said, they get upset. Well, you didn't listen to me. No, you didn't listen to the guy before you. How many times have we been at meetings where 5 people around the table saying the same thing over and over and over and over again because we're not listening? I don't listen all the time. I tune things out. We're overstimulated by noise. We are overstimulated by media. We are overstimulated by all the things that are bouncing towards us that we get overwhelmed. And yet, people are afraid of silence. I think silence is a great thing. When I go home, I put the dogs in the yard. The cats scatter because, well, that's what cats do. And then I just sit in a quiet house and listen to the creaks or the wind blowing, but I don't have any background noise because I'm overwhelmed. And by sitting in silence, it allows me to kind of clear, to reset myself so that I then can listen to people. That's the secret. We need to practice what's called active listening. You don't have to agree. You don't have to give the person what they want, right? When I'm talking, I just want to be heard. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to give me what I want. You don't have to think, well, if I don't give him what he wants, he's going to get angry. No, if I know you're not listening to me, that angers me because you're saying I don't matter, or your partner doesn't matter, or your child doesn't matter, right? You don't have to give in. You just have to listen. You just have to pay attention. And we have to give people our undivided attention. When my pops would talk to me, no matter how busy he was, I always knew he was present. I always knew he was there. He didn't have a real cell phone the way we do today. He did have a cell phone, but it wasn't one of the gadget-laden ones. But he would give me his attention. And he gave all of his students his attention. And he gave his union members his undivided attention. He listened. And that's the lesson I need to learn. And I'm still, right? No multitasking. When you're talking to somebody, put the phone down. Turn the iPad off. Don't answer the phone. Don't try to do 5 or 6 things, even if it's on a phone call, because guess what, friends? People know when you're multitasking. Either you have Tourette's syndrome, which causes you to click when you talk, or you're hitting a keyboard. I was born during the day, but I wasn't born yesterday. right? The old saying goes. You cannot truly listen to anyone and do something else at the same time. M. Scott Peck puts that in one of his books. But listening, if you listen to somebody, it gives you time to process. It gives you a moment to put your brain in gear, to engage your brain before your mouth is in motion. It gives you time to think, what is this person saying? What does it mean for me? It gives me time to reflect. Is this person being helpful? Is this person being sarcastic? It prevents snap judgments. How often, as soon as somebody starts to talk, we start yelling? Either because we think we've heard it all before, because we think that they're not going to say anything constructive, they're not going to say anything kind. Maybe. Give them the benefit of the doubt. And keeps us from jumping to conclusions, which will then keep us from having to remove our feet from our mouths because we open them too soon. And it gives us an opportunity to watch and read between the lines, to notice body language, to see how people are holding themselves, and to see if that can give you a clue to their words. Good communication is a two-way street, beginning with the willingness to listen, to hear what the other person has to say. And Bernard M. Baruch said famously, most of the successful people I've known are the ones who do more listening than talking. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. All right, we are up to Kiddush. Kiddush for Friday night. I'll ask everybody, please rise. Vayir vayivoker yom hashishi, vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam, vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa, vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi, vayikadesh oto. Kivo Shavat Mikol Malachto Asher Bara Elohim La'asod. Savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon in tfilanu zigaron lemaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lamikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu b'charta v'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim, Mishabbat kodshecha, Yahava ufratzon, in chaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Please remain standing. Let's turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'ateit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kagoye haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot hadama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem V'gor aleinu k'chamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim Lifnei melech Malchei Amlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noteh Shamayim v'Yosei Haaretz, U'Moshe Yikaro b'Shamayim Hima, U'Shchinatu Zo, U'Shchinatu Zo, V'Goltei Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efes Umato, Kagatu V'Torato, Yadata Hayom B'Hashemota, Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim B'Ma, V'Haaretz, V'Haaretz, Mitachat Einod. Kakatu b'tortach Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yom ha'hu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemaho Echad. May be seated. This week, we observed the following yard sites. Catherine Morgan Brown, wife of Irvin, mother of Benjamin and Morgan. Stepha Rosenblum, relative of Valerie White. Nathan Solacek, Mark's father. Mordechai Wutcher, Rabbi Wutcher's father. Ruth Joseph Bro, mother of Pat Bro. Barbara Gross. David Brantner, James Gill's stepson. Sarah Lippman Casson, Martin Casson's grandmother. Joan Rose, wife of Harold, mother of Steve, Howard, and Elaine. Bessie Poland Brown, sister to Joan's grandfather, Abraham Isaac Poland, Edna Baker, and Irvin Brown's mother. Kenneth Friedman, Harold's son. Philip Mayer Good, Paul and Lynn Mayer's nephew. Franny R. Levy, Bob's grandmother. Joseph Cohen, relative of Bernard. Charles Fetter, Norma's husband, brother to Noah and Simon, uncle of Mark and Marvin. Eva Hyman, Jack and Ed Hyman's aunt, Derek's great aunt. Abe Berinsky, father of Manny. Harold Corrand, Howard's father. Meyer Jason, brother of Goldie Fetter. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all, and may they all rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 294. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabbah, Dalma Divrach, Yutei, Yamlik Malchutei, B'chaye Chod, Yomei Chod, Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalav, Yizman Kariv, Yibru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, B'varach, V'olam, V'omei Amaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei, Kucha, Brechu. Le'elam, Yinkol, Birchata, V'shirata. Tush B'chata, V'nechamata. Da'amiram, Ba'alma, V'yibru, Amen. Yehei Shloma Rabba, Min Shemaya. V'chayim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yibru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Yiramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yibru, Amen. All right, you may be seated. Friends, this is a special Shabbat. It is birthday and anniversary Shabbat, one of my favorites. And we have a number of people who are celebrating birthdays here. We have Sydney Poland yesterday, Marilyn Poland today, and the Kiddush, the Oneg is in honor of the birthdays.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. It's in honor of the birthdays Dr. Joel Cooper is celebrating a birthday. Jenny Bro, Rivka Jacobs Rubin, Susan Miller, Judy Lance, Alan Siegel, and Melinda Keynes. And so I know we have at least 3 of the birthday people here. So come on up for your candy bar.
Yes.
Right.
And note, it's a full-size Hershey bar.
That's why, thank goodness.
Right. Well, it's because I bought them. You know,
Thank
The shul would have got me those little tiny Hershey kisses, you know?
Thank
That's how it
you
is.
so much.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. For a
Thank
sweet year, a sweet birthday filled with blessings. And let's give you a Mishaberach. Mishaberach Abraham Abraham Yitzhak Yaakov Sarah Rachel V'Leah Hu Yivarech Et Kulam Sh'alu Hayom Likvod HaMakom Likvod HaTorah Likvod HaShabbat L'hodot Al Kol Chasadim Asher Gamal Lahem Elohim Yom Hilvadu Ad Miyom Hazer HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmor Otam V'Yakol Mishpachtam V'Yishlach Bracha V'Atzacha B'Chol Ma'aseh Yadehem Im Kol Yisrael Acheim V'Namar Amen. The God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rachel, and Leah, bless all who have come for this Shabbat with reverence for God, respect for Torah, and respect for Shabbat. Grateful to God for the gift of life which they have enjoyed until this day. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu continue to bless them with length of years, good health, the pleasures of Torah study, and the profound satisfaction that comes from a life of Masim Tovim, a life of good deeds. In celebrating this and other birthdays, may their examples remind us that people may count the days of their life, but a person of wisdom makes every day count. And let us all say, Amen. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Now, those of you who want to sing it in English, please.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear us. Happy birthday to us.
Many more happy and healthy.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Now we have some announcements, Mr. President. Oh, we forgot the anniversary. There is one anniversary in February. It is on the 5th of February, and it's John and Jean Rosenberg, and they are celebrating 57 years. 57 years. They are married longer than I am alive. They are married longer than I am
Very
alive.
longer than I know.
Would have been. I mean, they're married longer than my parents were married longer than I was alive. So that's good. I mean, they got married before I was born. See how that works? Mr. President, how about some announcements? Look at that suit, man.
I know, man.
Looking snazzy.
Thank you. See you.
Good to see you.
Shabbat Shalom, friends.
Shalom.
So tomorrow we've got service at 10 a.m. I understand that we're going to have some teaching,
Yep, we're gonna have teaching.
so please show up. And then Sunday we've got service at 9, and then we have study with the rabbi at 1 and at 2.
Yep.
Then we have the Yiddish choir at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Next Sunday, we are going to be having our Super Bowl party. So be sure to show up. David Glick and everybody will be here. You can cheer on your favorite team, or
Who's playing?
Kansas City and San Francisco.
Right.
Okay.
Two teams I don't care about.
Yeah, I think Kansas City's going to win again. That's who I'm going to bet on.
Taylor Swift.
Be sure.
Yeah, you can support Taylor Swift. She doesn't get as much air coverage as people seem to think. It's only about 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. It's
It was 44 last week.
Yeah, 44. See, y'all are up on this. It's amazing. And the raffle is the April 14th, I believe. And then we've got the Jewish Cultural Festival on May 19th. So we're preparing for that. By raffle. Yes, Judy.
Sisterhood has a brunch next Sunday as well.
Thank you. What time?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
but we'll get
that out.
flyer out for everybody to sign up.
Wonderful. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Everything's going pretty well. And Shabbat Shalom. Have a good one.
Shalom.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let us close out with Adon Olam, and then we can get out to that oneg that's been waiting for us, sponsored by the birthday ladies. 321 Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chepso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Likra V'Yacharei Yikro Takol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yeh B'tifara V'hu Echad V'ein Sheni Lahamshilo Lahakira V'li Reshit V'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'hamischa V'hu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzur Hevli V'yetzara V'hu Nisi Umanosli Menad Kosi V'yomekra V'yahado Akid Ruchi V'yeti Shan V'yahira V'imruchi V'yihashi Adonai li v'lo ira. Oh, we have some people saying hello to us via the intertubes. Let's see who we've got here. We've got G. David T. Grant David. Shabbat Shalom. Everyone stay safe. Thank you all. Love and shalom to everyone. Thank you, Grant David, to you as well. Only blessings and good things. Donna Wilson. Shabbat Shalom to everyone and all February birthdays on this gorgeous day. Thank you, Donna, and Shabbat Shalom to you. Oh, there's Mom. Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's mom, Cliff. Oh, and the grandson is there. Nathaniel, God's gift. That's what his name means, not how he behaves. Happy birthday to all celebrating their special day this month. And Taylor McIntyre, Shabbat Shalom, and happy birthdays. Thank you, Taylor, Mom, and Cliff. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom to all. All right, friends, we're having an oneg, so if you're not here, better luck next time. And Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and please be careful out there.
Amen. Amen.